Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to the More Than Just a Wedding podcast. Today, I have the VIP special guest, reluctantly but willingly joining me today, my handsome husband, Justin Starr. Welcome, my love.
Thank you.
This is not Justin's favorite place to be. He very much prefers behind the scenes. So I know it's requiring you to step out of your comfort zone a little bit, babe, and I appreciate that. But
Very
the
much so.
goal is to help our viewers and our listeners as much as we can. And because we are getting ready to celebrate our 20-year wedding anniversary, I thought it would be really fun to just look back on that day and chat about what stood out to us. Now that
Sure.
we've had some perspective and some wisdom over all of these years, I thought
Yeah,
we
for
could
sure.
maybe have some helpful information to share.
You
So,
bet.
Justin, first thing that comes to mind when you think back on our actual planning of the wedding, what's the first thing that stands out to you?
The first memory I have is sitting there at the computer for hours and hours and creating our playlist and burning the CD for our guests for their gift, and then getting the sticker, making the cover art, putting the sticker on the CD, cutting the paper for the insert, and all that stuff. That's the first thing I remember. I don't know
Yes.
why it's the first thing I remember, but it is.
I don't even know if that was legal
Probably wasn't.
for us to burn soundtracks of our wedding and pass them
Probably
out as
wasn't.
favors. We had them set out as party favors, but
Yeah.
it was really fun. I think to us, something we both agreed upon wholeheartedly was wanting everything to feel very personalized,
Right.
and music stood out to both of us.
Very much
The
so.
music had to make sense. It had to be there had to been a lot of thought put into it, and something that to this day, when I hear any song from that day, I think of the specialness of it.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. One thing that I'll get emotional thinking about it, but one thing that I really appreciate is how involved you were in our planning.
For most
You
things, yes.
you enjoyed it. You wanted to be a part of it. You
Mhm.
were very insightful and had a lot of opinions to share in a good way, in a good way. And it's I bring that up only because when I obviously do wedding sales calls nearly every day, and I'm always talking to families and mothers of the bride or the groom, and the moms say they always seem a little puzzled, and they tell me the groom really wants to be involved,
Mm,
and that's wonderful, that's great, because I think a couple of generations ago that wasn't the
yeah.
case, and now we're seeing both parties always wanting to be fully involved, and that just feels really special. And I always tell our sweet brides, I think that active grooms make active husbands and active fathers. And, there's for you, when you look back on our wedding day, do you feel like it was something you and I created together?
100%. Yeah, it was
Mm.
definitely a team effort, but I feel since we've met each other, it was a team effort, you know? Wedding, parenting, life, we've always gone at it as a team, which I think is important for
I do too.
success in anything.
It's not always the easiest
No, not at all.
because you have to really communicate a lot. And I think there's a lot of compromise, and you have to really understand who values what the most and
For sure.
give a little bit from time to time. Um, but it was really fun planning our wedding together, even though
It
it was
was.
stressful at
It's very
times.
stressful at times, but overall it was fun. It was a good time. Good memories.
Yes. You glad you did it, babe?
Oh, yeah, it worked out. Worked out good.
Okay, Justin, were there any planning decisions that you didn't expect to care about but ended up mattering a lot?
Probably the cake.
I knew you were gonna say
Why?
but tell your cake story, babe. Let's tell the
What's my
cake
cake
story.
story? Do I have a cake story?
Well,
Oh,
there's
that story?
aftermath to the cake story, but
The
yeah.
aftermath. Okay. Well,
Well, okay, let me start.
okay.
Originally, I thought it would be really fun to have a sandcastle wedding cake. Originally, I always thought we would get married on the beach. And when we got into our planning, we had decided that having all of our loved ones there mattered more because we were only 25 years old rather than us doing something destination. So we got married at Seville Golf and Country Club, which is where we both worked at the time.
Mhm.
And they had this really unique lagoon area that to me felt the closest we could get to the beach was this lagoon that had these really beautiful fountains and they had water cannons and no one had ever gotten married there before or I think since. It was a really
Yeah.
special part of the country club that they allowed us to have access to. So that I only bring that up to bring in this cake of being a seashell or excuse me, a sandcastle themed cake. Well, when I started researching what they look like, I realized, oh no, that is too niche. That is too cheesy. That is not going to look good. So instead, we came up with, I still love our cake. I really
It
do.
was
It's
fantastic.
the
Very
design
simple.
of it, the florals of it, so
Yeah.
pretty. You were more so about the flavor.
Yes. I like carrot cake. It's my favorite cake. And so it was, I forget, was it the second tier? We had carrot cake and what else? Was it carrot cake and chocolate?
All I remember is a carrot cake,
Okay. And I remember you put on the BEO.
which is
I
the
think it's,
banquet event order, which
yes.
means the resort and the kitchens have access to this.
Yeah. That the groom wants a piece of cake.
A
Did
big
you put
piece of cake.
a big piece of cake? And so I remember when I got there and it was cake time, I went back to my chair at the sweetheart table and there was a ginormous piece of cake there. I was very happy. Very
Yeah.
happy.
Yes.
And then the
And
aftermath story was because I worked there at Seville, right? And so whenever it was a week or two, I got back to work.
well, it
What
was
did
a
I do?
couple
A
days
couple days. I asked a question about what happened to the leftover cake because
because
I
it was
knew we had
huge.
huge cake. Yeah. Um, I honestly forget. You tell the story. You tell the story.
Well, all of a sudden, one of our friends at the time, also a banquet server, walks in and sheepishly apologizes because I think at the end of the night, rather
Yeah.
than the cake getting boxed up and sent home, it got tossed,
Yes.
which I understand now because I've seen what wedding cakes look like after they've been cut. I mean, the
Yeah.
way
It's
you
not
have to
pretty.
cut into it, it's crumbly, it's a mess, it's hard to save, but I remember you being disappointed about that. And the next 3 years following that on our anniversary, you always tried to have our cake
Oh yeah.
recreated, which
I
also was
tried
not
to.
successful.
No, not at all. Not either time. Well, we finally got it. We had it successful the third time, didn't we? Maybe we didn't.
I just remember the unsuccessful attempts. We had our pastry chef recreate it at the resort, to which Sweet Jack forgot to put sugar in it.
Well, it was just a comp cake is all it was. It was just a little piece of cake with white frosting, and then it didn't
No
look
flavor.
nothing like a topper, and it was no sugar, like no sugar. It tasted like beat egg whites. That's all it was.
Yeah. And
So
then
I
the,
kind of
the
gave up on that
following
dream.
year, we went out to Roy's, right?
Yeah, that's right. We went to Roy's, and I put a message in there request for a cake, and they never brought it out. So I had to actually walk back into the kitchen when you went to the restroom. I
Because you
walked
were
in the
trying to
kitchen.
surprise me.
Yes, and they had no record of it being on their order
Ordered.
or what. Yeah. So
But then they comped our whole meal,
they did count the whole meal and the beverages. So yeah.
which was not necessary, but
No, no.
appreciated
Yeah,
nonetheless.
for
So
sure.
the whole point of the story, everyone, is that sometimes things don't turn out the way you expect them to turn out. They can turn out better. And sometimes when things don't work out at all, they become really funny things that you laugh at later.
Do
Because at
you
the
remember
time it feels so serious and so
Yeah.
important.
I think you remember those times more than you do other times that went to plan.
That went smooth, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%. It's part of the storytelling.
Right.
Um, Justin, are there any funny moments from planning that still make you laugh? If you don't have one, I have one, but go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's so funny now because at the time, we had a lot of time. We didn't realize we had a lot of time.
Yeah, we thought we
We
were so busy.
we thought we were so busy with our careers and planning a wedding, which is completely normal. I mean, you only know the season of life that you're currently in. But because of that, we were able to pour a lot of time into the details and planning. And for our save the dates, we wanted to create them ourselves, but
Oh, yeah.
I wanted them written in sand to say save the date. So we went out, we had to buy the perfect sand that would work and put it in a sheet pan and write the message out over and over again.
And then we
Now
had
I'm
the
thinking,
lighting just right and the angle just right and all this stuff. But
now
it
you
turned out well.
it did turn out and it's ours. Whereas
Yeah.
now you can Google an image like that in less than
You could
a
just have AI do it.
yeah.
They do it in a second. We did it
But
the old-fashioned way.
I think we did everything that way. There was a lot of effort that was
Yeah.
put into the plans, which felt
Yeah.
really special. What were you gonna say?
No, I just when you were talking about that memory, it reminded me of that memory. Also, we had this plan, which in hindsight was silly, because our wedding party was huge. It was like 10 each, I think, 10 on each side.
We were 25. We had
Right.
that's the season in our life where friendship was
It's everything,
so important and so
everything.
connected.
And I had this vision in my head of the DJ announcing each person during the grand entrance like you would like a wrestling match or something like that, or like a rock show or something. So we had these little things that we wrote up for each person that were personalized to them
It was
to be
almost
funny.
like a little bit of a roast, like a funny
Yeah,
story about each of them with,
yeah,
keeping it
yeah.
nice-ish.
And so I remember writing all those out and rewriting them and trying to be as funny as possible and everything else. And then the day of, our DJ, and I don't even remember with all the details and everything else if I actually said, "Hey, I want you to do it like this," right? He just read out the things without that, kind of voice I wanted, and it seems so trite and silly now because it was. But that was one thing I remember. But I remember going through the process of writing them for each individual person and how it's going to be funny and everything else.
But honestly, like, at the time, that was really important, and I think that's something that us seasoned wedding professionals have got to remember, that our sweet couples, it's not just a passing detail. They have
Right.
spent so much time on it, so important to them, and it should be treated as such. So, I always coach our team that we have to understand the expectations they have as much as we humanly possibly can. And nothing's to ever be brushed off because it seems silly to us. It doesn't matter how it seems to us, it's how it is to them and what
Right.
expectation they have.
Right.
And I think that is something that is worth remembering and making a point of. And I think to our couples listening, that's why it's important to be very communicative if there are certain details that are more elevated or meaningful to you. Don't be
Right.
shy about that. Let's let that be known, and especially if you're working with a planner, we're going to detail that out
Right.
meticulously.
I do feel sometimes looking back at our wedding, and also I used to shoot weddings for quite some time, so I've been to a lot of weddings myself.
By shoot,
Um,
he photography.
photograph, yeah.
Mhm.
Um, I think we may have tried to overplan every detail during the process, and like we had all these visions in our head, like the DJ thing or whatever it was, or the save the day had to be just right. In hindsight, I wish we would have kind of relaxed a little bit and maybe had just a few high points to personalize things. I think maybe we overdid it, but
We
again,
micromanaged.
absolutely.
For sure. I'll be the first to say one of my faux pas definitely was when it came to the photos. We opted to do a first look, which I'm glad we did. I think that helps couples relax and
Yes.
ultimately spend more time together for sure. But because of that, we were doing a lot of our bridal party and family photos before the ceremony, which meant the lighting wasn't optimal for those photos. Lighting was going to be optimal for our bride and groom session afterwards, but not for our family groups necessarily. And I had it in my mind of a specific area that I was insistent upon our bridal party photos be. And our photographer, Matthew Wheeler, we love you so much, buddy, and miss you. Dear friend of ours. Um, Matthew Wheeler, owner of Still Life Studios. There's a new Matthew Wheeler. Well, he's not new, but newer to us. Anyways, that's when we met our buddy, and
Hmm.
we became lifelong friends with him. Which we do need to reconnect with him. It's been too long.
It's been a
But
long time.
he he was telling me, Jennifer, like, I hear what you're saying, but the lighting is not going to be great. But I'll do what you want to do. And sure enough, those photos, we're in direct sunlight and everyone is squinting. And I'm in hindsight, I'm like, I really wished I would have listened to the professional
Yeah.
who knew what he was doing rather than me being so stubborn and stuck in my ways with a vision that I had. So, no, that's a great point to
But I
bring
think as
up.
a bride, that's very normal to have that idealized vision in your head and expect nothing less, which I understand that. But at the end of the day, the reason you hire professionals and
And
for
trust
a wedding
them.
day is because you're pulling from their experience and their
Yeah,
knowledge.
you're not
So you
just
have to make
hiring
sure you
them for one day, you're
right.
hiring them for all the years of experience they've poured into your
Yes.
day.
Yes, exactly. So to listen to them and have them as somebody to bounce ideas off of is very important.
Yes, I'm been humbled with age by that wholeheartedly. Okay, let's talk about the big day. What's the first memory that comes to your mind when you think about our wedding day? First one.
After the ceremony,
Mm.
we went to that side area by the east lawn, and the sun was just setting. So it was very that golden hour, And I remember hugging you in your dress, and I said something to the effect of, "We have the rest of our lives together," or something like that. And that wasn't something that I had planned to say. I wasn't trying to be, it just came out. And that's one thing I remember. The first thing I remember.
Mm.
And then we did our bride and
Well,
groom session.
yeah, and you got your coconut shrimp?
Coconut shrimp, is that a thing? Oh,
Yeah, you
okay.
were excited about it.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I was excited about it.
That sounds more like a Jen thing more than a me thing.
It does actually now that you're saying that. Um, yeah, it's funny, like, it's so I think because I planned it so much, the things that I remember, honestly, were the unplanned moments.
Yeah.
Um, I remember I had a little bit of a freak out morning of. Um, so we had slept apart that night, which nowadays couples, especially if they live together, they're not spending the nights apart. And I respect that because I think you wanna do what's most comfortable to you, however you feel comfortable and how what your normal pattern is. You don't have to fall into doing traditions if you don't want to, but we had slept apart that night, so we didn't see each other up until our first look after we said goodbye the day before. And I had my hair and makeup done in a salon, and I remember I forgot to bring the photos from my trial, which you're supposed to do that so they can remember what they had done. And I was feeling really panicked about that. And so when I had my hair and makeup done, my hair wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be. And I started to panic. And I don't think it was really about the hair necessarily. It was just my nerves, like
Everything coming together.
everything coming together. Yeah. And I remember walking out of the salon and I had my veil on because they wanted to place it for me, and it was drawing so much attention, and at that time, I didn't want the attention. I didn't want
Hmm.
the comments, I didn't want stranger, I just wanted to get to where I needed to be. So
Yeah.
that's why I always tell our brides now, anytime hair and makeup can come to you, and keep you nice and comfortable and you're not driving in around I mean, in a car going places. Like, I remember my family stopped and we got lunch, or we were getting lunch to go, and I there was like a family squabble of some type because I didn't wanna go in, and I don't remember. There was some work. I think everybody was a little on edge,
Mhm.
and they ended up, getting me fed and getting me to where we needed to be, and then my maid of honor came in and fixed my hair. Thank you, Amy. She did her magic, and then I felt calm again. But I think it's really normal to know that you're probably gonna have a moment like that, and it's a little unexpected, and sometimes it's about the silliest thing, but that's okay. That's okay. There's such a buildup to this that give yourself some grace to have a moment if you need to.
I remember the wedding the morning of. I woke up in our apartment, which was destroyed because we were so busy planning and doing this and that and everything else.
We had people over that week and
Yeah, I was busy. A lot of family in town and everything else.
mhm.
And I remember the shoes I got with my tux, they were real shiny and they had like a big heel on them. And whenever I put them on, I kind of felt like I was wearing lady shoes. And I don't like it. So before I went to the wedding, I stopped up at Target and I got myself some black dress shoes for 25 bucks at Target. I was so happy I did that. That made the day so much better.
Oh,
And then
I
my
don't
I think
remember that.
I do. And then I think it was Trevor, my brother Trevor, one of the groomsmen. We were getting ready or whatever, and he goes, "Why are your shoes different than ours?" Because they had the shiny shoes. And I said, "Oh, I don't like those shoes, so I brought those." He goes, "Well, I didn't know I could do that." He was offended. And I'm like, "Well, sorry, bud. You're wearing the shiny lady shoes." So that's one thing I remember. It sounds silly, but, like, I like comfort, you know that. I like to be comfortable. I don't like to feel, restrained or anything like that. So that was one small thing I did that I'm very glad I did.
And I will say that has come like excuse me, men's wardrobe has progressed so much. There's so much more emphasis put on it now.
Mm.
A lot of our grooms actually get their suits or tux made. They purchase them. They're well fitted. Sometimes they'll have backup, like where they switch out their shirts. There's a lot more attention that goes to the men's wardrobe now, and I think it really makes a difference. So
Oh, for sure.
yeah. Okay. Justin, was there a part of the day that went totally different than we expected?
Yeah, I don't know. Um, I didn't really know what to expect, I guess. You know, when you're planning something for so long, and again, you have all these ideas and you're trying to, put it all together in your head. But then when you get there, it's like going on vacation. Like you can plan the excursions, you can do all the research in the room and get the ocean view and all this stuff. But once you get in there and you're actually in that environment, experiencing that experience at that moment, then that's the reality.
The train's moving.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't really think of anything unexpected that I can think of. Oh, I know. I knew that you were hiring the hula dancers. I had nothing to do with that part at all, and so I wasn't expect exactly what to expect. I didn't know what to expect, sorry. Um, but then all of a sudden these hula dancers came out, and they were awesome. It was so much fun. They were like actual hula dancers. So that was cool.
Hawaiian dancers, honey,
Hawaiian dancers. I'm
doing the
not saying
hula.
that correctly, am I? Hula? They're
You're
doing the hula.
fine.
Alright, sorry. So that was neat. That was unexpected for me. Again, I remember I knew they were gonna be there, but I never saw them. I never talked to them. That was all you. So that was a kinda like a surprise for me.
Yeah, it was like the Polynesian,
It was the ASU, right?
ASU, like a
Yeah,
group of dancers, and I
yeah.
didn't really know much either. I had a couple email exchanges. I didn't really know what their wardrobe was gonna be, how many dances they were going to do, and they were so fun.
They were
And
so good.
to give, like, insight, so we got married in the lagoon, and then we had cocktail hour there too, so it had this ocean beach vibe going on, and then we had the dancers come out during cocktail hour, and that was really
Yeah,
fun. Yeah.
a good touch, a nice touch there.
Well, and I always tell our couples too, it's the unexpected. If you're going to have something unexpected like that, do not tell anyone.
Right.
Let it be a surprise, you know? Let's see. Any details that made a big impact or things guests might have not noticed, but you remember?
I don't know.
What stands out to me was we really tried to honor our loved ones in any way that we could. And for our table numbers, we didn't have numbers. We had like some dedications. Like we had a mother of the bride table, we had a mother of the groom table, and it had
I
this
forgot
summary.
about that.
I have them. It had like a little like love note to
Yeah,
special. And then we had other meaningful things like I think trips that we had gone on, or like when we were dating, significant places that stood out.
yeah.
And it's kind of fun because it also served as like a talking piece to the table. If they like, what table you are you at? And there was like a story behind that. We did do programs, which are a lost art form now, but in our programs, we did a lot of personalization and thank yous and storytelling that I think was really fun. Um,
I
yeah.
remember a detail that I didn't notice until I saw the pictures. When we had our grand exit, for some reason, I went back in and grabbed a menu because I don't know if I thought, we're not gonna get to save this menu. I got to go get a menu. And so the picture we have of like us waving, but I have a menu in my hand, waving with this with the grand exit. I don't know what I was thinking, but I remember that.
You purposely went back in and grabbed
Yeah,
it
I
like
know.
your life depended on it.
I know. I don't know. I don't think I have that menu anymore. I think it's gone.
Ooh, we have a box of like
I know we had like
25
a
of them.
100 of them. I know. I know. The
Oh my
little things that
goodness.
you remember.
Yeah. Something that we were talking about earlier that is heavy on the heart, but I think we should mention it is that we've lost a lot of loved ones since our wedding day.
Mhm,
We have lost all of the grandparents that were there. We lost your sweet mama 4 years after our wedding
mhm.
unexpectedly. And those memories become so sacred and so special. And you can't be aware of that in real time,
No,
nor should you be. It's not that's so hard, but it's
right.
important because how about you tell a few of your mom stories from that day? Because they're some of my favorite. Like when we were getting our photos taken.
Yeah. So, my mother's a shopper. She loves a deal, and we were out in the outside hallway. What would you call that area? Like a foyer or
Mhm.
fountain
It's like
area?
a beautiful,
And
like,
we were
covered patio
covered
outside of the
patio,
golf club.
right? And we're taking family photos. So Matt, our friend and photographer, is ushering people around and doing this and doing that. All of a sudden, my mom can't be found. She's missing. And so I forget who found her. She, I don't know. They found her in the golf shop shopping. She was shopping in the golf shop while she's supposed to be out there for photos. And she bought a hat. She got a Seville hat. And so we finally found her. She checked out and came back for the photo session. So I remember that. There's another one where we were getting ready. It was before the first look. And I was it's probably one of the moments I was the most stressed was before the ceremony. That's a very stressful moment.
Before the first
And
look too, because the first
yeah,
look is coming.
yes. And I forget what it was, but I wanted to go get a drink or something like that at the pool bar or something like that, real quick, right? And then my mom wanted to go get like a strawberry daiquiri or this, that, whatever. And I stressed out a little bit, and I'm like, never mind. I don't. We're not going to leave this room because I don't want to be late for anything, right?
Well, a
Uh,
blended drink is gonna take longer than a mixed
exactly,
drink.
exactly, or a beer, right? So she said, okay, okay, and then she sent one of my brothers out to get me a beer. So I think it was Shannon. He got one too, and then brought me one. So that was one of those motherly moments, I guess. Looking
She
out.
was already celebrating. She was there for the party,
Yeah,
and
100%.
you were still in task mode.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was. That's what
Yeah.
it was.
But then she just said, "Go take care of Justin. Go get him something."
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm,
As she would.
as she would. And one of my favorite memories and again, sorry, these are the things that you don't even see until way later. That's why when you get your photos and you get your video, you notice things. You have a whole different lens. But as our limo's about to pull away that night, or our town car is about to pull away that night, the very last person to run in there and give
Oh,
you a
yeah.
big, giant, giant hug is your sweet mama.
Yeah, I remember that now. So I'm
She's
glad
like,
we're doing this. There's a lot of memories that I haven't thought of for a long time.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. So fun. And would you agree, Justin? Like, why share with us? I know how I feel about it, but I mean, the importance of photo and video. Do you still value them equally?
Yes. They're different in a lot of ways, but they're equally valuable. So a lot of people don't do video because of the cost, and I get it. But I'm really glad we did it. Even though we don't watch it a ton, as time goes on, you can go back and watch the video of your loved ones that you no longer have. Those moments that you tell your kids about, they can watch them, right? So it's not used as frequently as a photo album might be, but it's very, very important to have, in my opinion. It's just
Well,
like, go ahead.
photos don't show the movement and they don't show the voice. You can't hear the
Right,
voice.
right. Very different media, and it evokes emotions very differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the moment that really got me, and I wasn't expecting, was my dad giving his
Mm,
speech.
yes, that was a highlight for sure.
Oh my goodness. So my dad is anyone that knows him would say he's not a big talker. He doesn't chat. He's
Not at
but
all.
when he does say something, usually there's a lot of thought behind it. And so on our wedding day, he stood up in front of all of our loved ones and delivered the most incredible father of the bride speech to where I was just speechless and so moved, and it was so beautiful and so touching, and I'm so thankful we have that on video because I was hearing his words in real time, but I couldn't even process them, and to know that I can watch that anytime now and, hear my dad's speech, it's just so special.
I've always thought I'm gonna have to watch that speech a ton when I'm getting ready for the speech for our children's wedding. I'm gonna have to try to, if I can't top it, at least match it. It's a high
Yeah,
bar.
yeah, that was a beautiful moment. Okay. Justin, I know we are on a time crunch. We have children to pick up from school. But
We
if we
do.
can just spend a couple more minutes on wrapping this up, um, as we get ready to celebrate our 20th wedding anniversary, Justin, is there anything you wish we would have done differently on our wedding day or choice that we, would have made differently?
Again, going back to what I said before, maybe just easing up a little bit, not expecting everything to go perfect 'cause it's not going to. When you have that many things you're planning for and all the timelines and all the people and all this and all that, something's gonna happen. And I remember the moment going back to the DJ thing when he wasn't saying the names and the stories the way I thought he was gonna magically say them. I was a little upset. I remember you squeezing my hand and saying, "Baby, we're married," or something to that effect. And when I saw you with that attitude and you were relaxed, I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's right. We're here to have fun, not to critique." Right?
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with the way he did it or anything, but it was my I got
Expectation. Yeah.
exactly. And so,
Yeah.
but when I saw my new wife relaxed and ready to have fun, I was too. So I would say the only thing I would say do differently is just relax a little bit more, you know,
Mhm. Yeah.
during the planning process and during the wedding.
Yeah. For me, it would be name what's enough and stick to it, and that's
Sure.
something I still have to work on is there's a project, you can work on it forever, it can be never ending, you can keep making it better, but give yourself the completion of it and the space to then be able to enjoy it. Don't
Yep.
keep doing things up until the end because it's not gonna make it better, it's just gonna make
Right.
yourself, you're just taking away time from yourself to just let it be. I think there's a lot of power in that.
For sure. For sure.
Okay, so for our 20th, We are celebrating. We are taking our little family to Hawaii,
Hmm.
where we had our honeymoon, and we're going to share the island with them and hopefully have some family photos taken on the beach and then go to a really nice anniversary dinner and just keep celebrating all that we have all that we have lived and the future that's ahead.
Absolutely. It'll be fun.
It
Once
will
we
be
get
fun.
there, once we get there, it'll be fun. We gotta leave at 6:30 in the morning. We have to
All
be at the
right.
airport.
All right. All
All right.
right.
I'm a
We
little
will
worried
get
about
there
that.
good. This is
Yeah,
okay. Opposites attract. So Justin is my logistical human. That is why I can function. But we have fun.
we certainly do, thanks to you.
All right, Justin Starr, I love you so much. Thank you for
Love
being
you.
here today.
Thank
Will you
you.
come back again?
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how many clicks and views this gets. If it
All
goes
right.
viral, maybe I'll come back.
Oh, it will. It will.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone, for being here today and for listening. I hope that there were some takeaways that will help you be able to experience your special day the way that we were able to experience ours. Until next time, thank you.